welcome back to my YouTube channel. On this channel we'll talk about cake baking tips, cake decorating tips and everything in between. Today we are going to be making a very delicious vanilla cake. Come along guys. Welcome back once again guys. If this is your first time here, thank you so much for joining. Please make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any video. For this recipe we'll be using baking powder, we'll be using baking soda, vegetable oil, we're going to be using margarine or butter, egg, sugar, corn flour, all-purpose flour and buttermilk. This is just milk. I've not prepared the buttermilk. I'm going to be making homemade buttermilk. This is 1.5 cup of milk. I'll prepare buttermilk shortly. To prepare buttermilk, for every 1 cup of milk, we would use 1 tablespoon of white vinegar. So I have 1.5 cup of milk here. I'll be using 1.5 tablespoon of white vinegar. I'll pour it inside it and then I stir it. I took out 4 tablespoons of the flour, that's the all-purpose flour, and replaced it with 4 tablespoons of corn flour. So this gives me a substitute for cake flour. When you use cake flour for vanilla cakes, your cake comes out very fluffy and light. So if you cannot get a cake flour, you can easily do this and get your cake flour substitute. Now I'm going to be adding the baking powder and the baking soda into the flour. So my dry ingredients is set and ready. So I'm going to stir it together and set it aside. Now I'm going to move on to mixing. I'm using vegetable oil, but you can use any other oil of your choice. But just note that the lighter your oil, the more lighter your cake comes out. I'm using margarine. You can as well use butter. If you are using unsalted butter, please know that you have to use salt. Half TSP of salt is good, but I'm using margarine, so I will not be using salt. You can use butter like I stated earlier. So I'm going to mix this together. I'm going to combine the oil and the margarine together. Then I'm going to add the sugar and mix the two of them completely till it's light and fluffy. You're going to notice the change as we mix. If you are wondering if you can use margarine to bake this recipe and get a good result, this is your cue. However, you can do 50-50 to get an even better result. So you can do 50% butter and 50% margarine, and of course you can use butter alone. By the way, you know that since the beginning of this video I didn't tell you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, so now I'm telling you to go and subscribe to my channel, turn on post notification, and of course give this video a thumbs up. You hear me? Yeah, thank you. At this point, the margarine, oil and sugar has creamed very well. Can you see? Look at that. It is now very pale and light. Now I'm going to add in the eggs one after the other while I use the mixer to mix it together. So you need to know that once there's baking soda inside a recipe, there's definitely an acid somewhere that the baking soda is going to react with for it to work properly. That means for you to make your cake rise. Now the acid can either be white vinegar, it can be buttermilk, and it can as well be yogurt. For this recipe we are using buttermilk. So we are going to be adding the dry ingredients, which is the flour, baking soda and baking powder, and alternating it with buttermilk. Please note that at this point you do not need to overmix. You just want your dry ingredient, that's the flour, to combine with the mixture, and that's all. Because if you overmix, the gluten inside the flour is going to develop and your cake is going to be hard. If you can use a spatula to just combine it, or use an hand mixer at low speed and do not over mix. I'm adding the flavor now because I totally forgot. You can add your flavor when you want to add the eggs into the mixture. I'm going to be baking these cakes inside two 8 inches pan. You can eyeball it or use a measuring scale like I'm doing here. Please make sure you use a parchment paper or a baking paper because the cake is very soft and it might break if you're taking it out of the pan. I'm going to be baking them at 150 degrees Celsius for 45 minutes. The cake is ready. Look at what we made. Absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, it's very soft, not so crumbly, and just downright delicious. You're definitely going to enjoy it. Your kids are going to say, "Mommy, I love you," and your customers are definitely going to enjoy it. I had a bite and it was amazing. Amazing. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, please give it a thumbs up. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, share with your friends. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.